On this episode of DC on Screen, we have confirmation of when Creature Commandos is airing, news on some of the cast members that are coming back for Peacemaker Season 2, plus Gunn pretty much gives us a list of lesser-known characters he likes, so, maybe we have a good idea of what's coming down the pike. Also, could DC and Marvel finally be teaming up for a cinematic crossover? It's a mystery, it's smothered in secret sauce, wrapped in spandex. I can see its elongated clitoris. It's just...
not very enigmatic. It's very clear from the shape.
Well, some people might say it's a little dick. All that news and God help us a whole lot more right after these words from our mystery sponsors. Welcome into DC on Screen, the podcast bringing you news and reviews pertaining to the DC multiverse on film and television since 2015. I'm your host, David C. Robertson. Now, Jason and I were going to make this episode a review of Justice Society World War II, but Jason's wife came down with ye old COVID, and he is basically quarantined downstairs with the daughter, so he couldn't make it, and there's been stuff to talk about, so I just thought, let's wrangle our esteemed patron, friend, and frequent fill-in host, Effie Oppelders.
Good morning. It is nice to be back, even if the circumstances are once again, not exactly to be celebrated, but
if only Jason...
It's a good day for me, It's his fault for having this many medical emergencies in his life.
It would make you so much happier if you could just be legitimately happy to be on the show. And
it would save me some awkwardness at first, yes.
Not feel like you were, reveling in, Jason's misery.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I have no soul, so I will readily admit I wallow in Jason's misery every day. Like, anything
Fair
that
enough.
man complains about, I'm like, that kind of,
The truest sign of friendship.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that really only comes when you've been friends for a really long time. So, now
I can only imagine. We'll see if we get there.
Not true misery. Not reveling in the true misery. Just the,
the limited,
the minor
tiny
inconveniences. Yeah.
Of life. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Patreon.com/DC on Screen if you want to be like Effie and eventually buy your way into co-hosting the show when Jason's sick.
That is exactly my plan from the beginning.
Wasn't it?
Before there even was a Patreon, I think.
I think you're planning on just replacing me at some point. It's just going to be you.
I mean, I think I wouldn't, purely based on the fact that I would have to do a lot more work.
That's true.
So it is quite convenient for me to stay on this side of the aisle and
yeah.
Let you do the research and just lay the news on me
sure.
like a fresh-faced daisy. I have no clue what is going on in the Twitter sphere today, but some DC discourse is happening, and I'll get the short version in a fun wrapped package put together by you instead of having to deal with the actual shit. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty content as it is.
So you're saying you want me to drop my glistening dew all over your fresh-faced daisy?
Well, I didn't think
that's what I heard.
That half of the metaphor through. I just compared myself to the daisy, and then things got off the rails.
Yeah. See, when you say on the fresh-faced daisy, I backtracked and wrote the rest of that sentence and went, oh shit, that's messed up.
Slightly, yeah. We should probably have this conversation off air and involve your wife in it, because otherwise it's
No, I don't have conversations quote unquote off air. That's a waste of time and resources. Good point. I only conversate when there's a little dough in it for me.
Exactly. We need this for the the entertainment value and posterity and all that. So
Sure.
that's why we record every conversation.
Creature Commandos.
I've heard of it.
You've heard of it.
I've seen one single picture of it.
Yeah, you've heard of it. The whole world hadn't until last year.
Same. Fair enough.
I couldn't find confirmation from Gunn himself, but I'm hearing that there's been a big kerfuffle online today about how Creature Commandos is going to be hard R, and it's funny. Hey, look, I love it. I'm fine with it. Peacemaker was hard R.
I'm good with it. Yeah, and it's pretty much sort of the Suicide Squad corner of the universe where. You have Weasel. If that's the vibe, that's the vibe. And Gunn is fine with writing R-rated stuff, so it doesn't surprise me per se.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting kid animation. I was expecting this for the adults. Anyway, so if PG-13 at least would have been slightly more accessible, but
that's what I'm seeing though a lot of, and it's hilariously a lot of it's from I won't say names, but a lot of these people are very recognizable to me, and I remember when they were yelling about how Zack Snyder should be able to make an R-rated movie, fuck the kids, and now they're crying oh, way to go, way to get kids into your universe, Gunn. Man, I can't take my kids. I'm like, your avatar is Batfleck beating in a skull. I don't understand the problem.
But Batfleck beating in a skull without the blood splatter was PG-13. So really, what are we talking about?
It's Wonder Woman beheads Steppenwolf. It was awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Why are you crying about this?
She should have been having some decapitated guys on her belt. I'm down for that shit.
Yep.
But then don't turn it back around on someone else. Come on. Gunn has every right to be as gory or
inappropriate.
Make some some jokes that might be in poor taste. That's his prerogative.
Yeah.
Some of them are funny. Not all of them, but some of them.
The comedy,
let the man do his stuff.
I will say comedy's hard.
Comedy is an art. Yeah. It is something people can suck at. And if you're not entirely sucking at it, you're doing something right. And that's more than most people can say.
I will say this, Gunn, for me, half of his stuff might not be funny. I would say probably 2/3 is funny, and a third is not funny. That's how it feels to me. But I'll laugh a hell of a lot more at his jokes than I do Zack Snyder's. Sorry.
Which ones?
Let's see. Which three should I talk about? Which of the three?
Yeah. You should have these off the top of your head because there's not many to remember.
In other news, Water Wet.
That's still the only one I kind of like. It's fine.
It's not. It's obvious and it's played.
It is very obvious, but it's Lawrence Fishburne and he sells it.
He did sell it, but
it feels right for the character to be slightly bitchy, but also not creative enough to come up with a better joke.
He's the editor of a newspaper. He should be a little witty.
That's journalistic fucking writing. Yeah, he is witty enough, but
he should be witty, at least. He should know.
Yeah, but I feel like he is. He is in that movie.
And okay, so I don't.
He has some snark to him.
I don't remember the other two jokes, but I know.
Now I can only think of other Lawrence Fishburne lines in that movie. Clicks his heel 3 times, goes back to Kansas, I presume. Something, but I wouldn't qualify all of them as jokes.
Yeah, I mean, just moments where you're supposed to laugh, the audience is supposed to laugh,
Yeah, but that really brings us down to the question of, does Zack Snyder intend for you to laugh at any of this?
I don't know. I know that there were apparently a bunch of jokes that were still in the Snyder cut that made that one girl who was his. Well, I guess she thought she was his right-hand man. She dipped. She couldn't take Zack Snyder's Justice League, man. I can't remember her name. Fiona something?
I don't. Oh, does she have problems with the fucking Snyder cut?
Yeah.
I've clearly disavowed myself of her corner of Twitter, so I have not followed the fallout.
Yeah,
that is hilarious. She was like so huge on everything.
Yeah.
She campaigned the shit out of it and then didn't like the result.
Yeah, she didn't like it. She didn't like the jokes. She specifically said she didn't like the jokes that were in it.
I mean, yeah, there's some more humor that was already inserted by that part of the process, but
no.
That's not a comedy we're watching. Like, it's like out of the 4 hours, there's not a lot of jokes.
Yeah, like it was just like, I guess there were certain lines she thought were Joss's, and she was like, I ruined it. And then when she got to Zach's, she was like, oh, those were just Zach's bad jokes.
Yeah, some of them are just, have always been there and then weren't rewrites, and that was what the studio was pushing for. So he was, slightly agreeing to the terms in some places.
I don't know.
And not all of it worked.
I don't know how much they, there's no way to know what percentage of what is in the Snyder Cut was like goated by Warner Brothers. But
yeah, it is like we haven't seen the original draft by Terrio. We just don't fucking know.
Yeah, that was off. That was something else. Like we're never gonna get that. I don't know.
No,
maybe
I'm sure.
We'll have a script someday somewhere that he'll auction off or something.
That would be fun. I would hope I'm rich by that point.
And it comes
I want to read it.
Comes in a phone book. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of fucking Amazon history in there, and I'm like, okay, cool. Down for this.
Yeah. Anyway, Creature Commandos. God, we didn't even get to that news. Sean Gunn says...
yeah, right, there was news.
Sean Gunn, brother of James, says it's coming out in the fall of this year. So that's the closest we've gotten to a confirmation.
Bit of a break. Yeah, that's at least ballpark time frame where we know when to expect it. some more waiting to do, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit more. Over to Superman Legacy. I love this. Someone asked James Gunn, says, Nathan Fillion said you guys are having a table read in Atlanta next week. Is that true? And Gunn's response is just, oh, Nathan. Which I'm going to take as true, and he wasn't supposed to say that shit.
That makes sense. That makes the most sense. Also, why the fuck would Nathan Fillion say that? Like, where did he even say that? That does not sound like a thing you're supposed to share.
Yeah. Dude, did you see this? I mean, sorry, skipping off of Marvel, off DC to Marvel for a second. Did you see this shit where Mark Ruffalo was talking about like, oh yeah, we'll never do another Hulk solo movie. Kevin Feige told me like we're never gonna do one, and he said a bunch of shit. And
but that's like everyone should know by now that they're not gonna do a standalone Hulk because the fucking distribution rights aren't with Disney.
I don't know if that's true. I've heard that refuted before.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the issue with Universal having the making too much money off of it while they would have to still produce it. So like. It's not a good deal for them.
Yeah, that's what
I think they have first look on it or something. Like,
yeah, that's what I've heard for forever. But I feel like I've heard someone refute that. Someone high up refute that. But anyway, so
we would have to look into that, and we're not a Marvel podcast.
No. But the interviewer, the interviewer's like, oh, but you're in the new Captain America, and he goes, oh yeah, and they're talking about it for just a second. He does, I can't really talk about it, but.
Because we didn't fucking know that.
Today, Variety came out and said that he misspoke and that he is not in that movie. I'm like...
Also very possible.
Oh, girl, they gonna green screen your ass out. They're gonna replace you. They're gonna replace you with, like, Scar or somebody. Like, it's gonna be your son now. You're not in the movie anymore.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, yeah.
Like, we're tired of your bullshit.
That's delightful. No. Yeah, has Mark Ruffalo been that bad about it though?
Yeah.
Like he's not Tom Holland, but he's on that level. Okay,
yeah, he's bad. He's real bad.
Oh, that's fun. I need to look into those clips because I always love those clips where they fuck up and just share too much.
Yep.
It's the best thing about the secrecy over at Marvel.
Oh,
whenever it gets broken the fuck down. And other actors have to be like, no, blah, blah, blah. And it works very well.
Yeah. Luckily over at DC, everything's been leaked for years.
Yeah.
Before
the secrecy is,
anyone has
trying to, they're like Gunn is trying to establish a bit more of a funnel in terms of information where it's like it comes from me and the rest of the shit is bullshit, and like he's trying to teach us the same way of not believing a bunch of shit, but at the same time, this happened too, so wasn't exactly his tweet saying, oh yeah, it's gonna be fall, have this date. But, oh, we're having a table read next week. You can know that. Oh well.
I don't want them tracking me down in Atlanta. They will. We know they will.
They always do.
Over to Peacemaker Season 2. James Gunn has confirmed he's finished writing the second season.
Huh.
And someone asked, any episode or moment you're particularly excited for? And he said so many things. Yes, including the opening credits.
Oh, I cannot wait.
And he also confirmed that Charissa Barton, who choreographed the first opening sequence, is back for the second.
Delightful.
So,
why not keep the team together? Yeah.
Someone said, could we expect an appearance from Abadeo, Harcourt, or Economos? And he says all three are back for season 2. He also said Eagly was back for season 2.
Good shit.
Someone was asking like, why can't you keep, I like the first opening, why can't you keep it? And he's like, a whole lot of people who were dancing died.
Yeah, that would just be very confusing. I was about to say, like, are we asking, I was just assuming that the characters that survived would be in the show's next season. But, everyone else is gone, man.
Yeah. This person says, help end some tedious nerd wars. You said you'll address the universe shift between Peacemaker seasons. So the new DCU is a loose continuation of the universe where Peacemaker Season 1 occurred. A Flashpoint-like event shifted the Season 1 universe into the DCU with some elements changed and others unchanged. Or will Peacemaker Season 2/DCU be a completely distinct universe from Peacemaker Season 1 Snyder Hamadaverse, with no past or current links whatsoever between the two? And Gunn says, all I can say is what I have before. Canon starts with Creature Commandos and Superman. As to how Peacemaker fits in, you'll have to wait for that, but the first season is worth watching for a multitude of reasons.
Yeah, I was about to say, that sounds like shit he's explicitly said
yes
will be revealed on the show. Come on.
It feels like it's a reveal.
We're not supposed to know yet. It's gonna be something interesting. He's gonna want to tie some threads together so we know at least what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna have to wait for that, and boy, are we bad at that.
Yeah, man, we are terrible at it. Now we're into the part of the show I call WBT. The WBT.
Yes, that kind of teen.
No, tea, as in you're sipping tea.
Yeah, no, I figured. The beverage, yes.
No, I don't think you understand. Tea, like you're spilling the tea.
Yes. Which is a phrase based on a beverage, right? Am I
don't think you understand. I don't think you understand, Effie. I can't keep this bit going.
No, I know. I
don't want to. You know when a bit starts to hurt?
Yeah, where you're like, God damn it. Can we keep this up?
So Dave Bautista had said, I would love to work with James again, whether it's DC Universe or not. I just love James Gunn. He's an incredible director, and we have a camaraderie that's priceless. I'd work with him for free, blah, blah, blah. Cool. Cool.
We love each other. Wonderful. Useful interview stuff.
Yeah. Gunn says, love Dave Bautista. Who would you like to see Dave play in the DCU? I wanted to ask you. Who would you like to see Dave Bautista play? Because Gunn asked us.
Oh, he asked us as an answer. That is lovely deflection. Goodness, what would be good casting?
A lot of people saying Bane.
Fair enough, but that feels
boring.
Yeah, kind of obvious, and also, the last take on Bane wasn't exactly Bane, so that's like, it's fine to get him
no version
right for once, but also a version of Bane needs to have more CG involved, so it really doesn't matter what the fuck he looks like.
Yeah,
at that point. And he's gonna wear a mask. Like, you're not gonna get Dave Bautista and like put a mask over his face for the entire thing. Then again, you could have said that about Tom Hardy, but I'm expecting the DCU to be slightly more comicsy in terms of its approach generally.
Perhaps.
So I'm seeing actual hulking Bane with actual fucking face coverage.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, I'm sure we could find something more fun for him, right?
I've seen a lot of people say Hugo Strange.
Oh, that's a take at least. Like, that's intriguing.
I mean, there have been takes where he's like a muscle-bound bald dude. I mean, that's Bautista to a T.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's a very curious. Yeah, I like it. That's like a slightly different twist on the character. I like that.
I think he should just play Drax.
I feel like that would be confusing.
Like the character would be played exactly as Drax is. However, the character by DCU that he would be playing would be Brainiac's dick. And this is a James Gunn production, so you know that Brainiac's going to say something about a dick. So
right, fair enough.
You know,
cannot wait for that fucking glorious moment in the cinemas.
Maybe he has like a long title for his dick, you know, but then like he shortens it, you know, he does like an acronym and it just spells Drax.
I feel like we cannot pitch this idea yet, but we'll keep working on it.
Like, it's Brainiac, so he's like, I am so brainy, I must have a second brain. This is here.
Indeed, as all men do in this universe, I think with my dick.
Right.
And then I shorten my dick to Drax.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would love to see Dave Bautista do something for real. I love that he, you know, is friends with James Gunn and wants to do this and would do it for free because that could really cut down on the cost of some of these productions.
Yeah, that would really save some budget. I mean, more CGI bullshit. Yeah, it would be good for WB generally to have slightly smaller budgets. Yeah. And what if he just plays his Army of the Dead character in the DCU? I feel like that works.
That'd be great. I don't remember anything about his character in Army of the Dead. So
he like had to kill his wife and his daughter was still mad at him or some shit. But he wore glasses. I think that was his main character.
Okay.
Choice.
All right. Cool. Anyway, Gunn talking about canon here. Someone asked, "Do you also consider the Killing Joker's actual origin?" And Gunn says, I can, and this is interesting to me. Gunn says, I consider whatever I'm reading true in the moment I'm reading it. As for canon, I'm not in charge of mainstream DC Comics continuity, just that of the DCU, which will intersect and sway away and intersect again, etc. with DC Comics. These characters are all myths, and I really enjoy the variations on them, especially when the artists understand the core of what I believe makes a character great and understands their history while offering a new spin. And this person said, I think people that focus too much on what's canon miss so many great stories and interpretations of the characters. Some of my favorite books are what's considered not canon. And James says, so true, at least half of the top 10 greatest DC stories aren't canon. I agree 100%.
Yeah, easily. Because it feels like I know there are no stupid questions, but also the point of the Killing Joke is not to give a definitive origin for the Joker. It's the Joker, motherfucker. Do you not get that? Yeah, like there's elements that keep returning, but like it is supposed to be slightly vague.
Yeah, but first of all, I disagree with you completely. There are stupid questions.
Oh, yes, good point.
And you will see, the deeper we go into this episode, there are stupid questions.
Yeah, that's the best part of Gunn's job description is, oh god, it's 4:30 now. I got to deal with the people on X trying to fucking get some information out of me in the most roundabout way possible.
No, but you know what? This is really smart, and I know people who think that this is the worst thing he could do because he should shut his mouth, and I think this is smart. I really do. Like, sometimes I feel like, okay, maybe that was too much. Maybe you shouldn't have answered this. Stop talking about that. But I feel like he's learning. I feel like he's learning as he's going. He used to be worse, but about what he was willing to say. But
yeah, true.
While he's doing this, I think because he stepped away for a minute and the scoopers ran rampant.
Exactly.
So I think it's smarter to give them headlines this way. Yeah,
he's just consistently dripping non-news into the feed and keeping us sort of barely engaged, but it's enough not to have weird-ass leaks and rumors just swirling around.
Yeah. But yeah, I completely agree with Gunn on this. I think top 10 greatest DC stories aren't canon. Maybe they were at some point, but they're not now.
Also possible, yeah. And like, just some Elseworlds graphic novels are fucking great. They're standalones. Like, they would easily make the top 10.
Speeding Bullets, Dark Knight
Still
Returns.
Need to read that shit. But yes, also, that's not canon. It is lauded, but it's not in the continuity.
Alan Moore's uncanon, not even within that continuity was it canon, ending for Superman, Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow. Like, that was one of the best stories of all time. And it's just not canon. He was just like, oh, you're going to end it anyway and reboot. Can I write it?
Doesn't matter.
Can I write a thing? This person says, what do you think about these? And they're 3 different rumors. Gunn says, at least one of those things is not true. Have fun guessing.
At least. That is such bullshit. That's it's like, no, it's all bull crap, but I can't say that again because I've done so many times now.
Yeah. So the rumors were...
Which 3 things, yeah.
Darren Aronofsky is in talks to direct Plastic Man for the DCU. Ruthie will have open casting, and they will look for actresses between 15 and 18 in Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, and a Teen Titans film is in early development for the DCU.
Ooh.
He says at least one of them isn't true.
I feel like the most credible one is the middle one. Where it's like, it feels like Woman of Tomorrow is getting to that stage where they're slowly looking around for people, and like they've just cast Supergirl, so there might be more people on that cast list. The other ones are just slightly weird.
Yeah, you know what? I feel
bit off the beaten path, and I feel like it's slightly too fast, unless you really want to go. Some Titans project is eventually going to happen, and they're pre anything trying to think what it has to be about, but sure, that's not saying much. There are other projects that haven't been announced. No shit.
But Darren Aronofsky talking about playing directing Plastic Man.
If he's gonna play Plastic Man, that would be very interesting.
That's the thing I trust the least, and yet somehow the thing that I want the most.
It is so. It's so bananas that you're like, this has to be fake.
Yeah.
But it is also so out there that why would a scooper come up with this combination of character and like crew and like how?
It also might...
Like, it's almost so crazy you want there to be a core of truth at the heart of it.
Yeah. I'm just on all the emotions. Like, if... It's like, I don't want it at all. And then, again, I'm like, I would have to see it, though.
Yeah. If this existed, that would be weird. Just off the wall. Like, what? What? I don't know Aronofsky personally, so I don't know why he would be into this character, but intriguing. Like, it is... Like, would it just be pure body horror? Because that doesn't feel like Plastic Man to me, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, I've heard that I want to say now that I forgot it, that I'd heard that he wanted to do Plastic Man a long time ago.
Maybe it is a recycled rumor of some kind.
Yeah, I don't know. But I would watch it if they did it.
Sure. I would probably watch most shit. Like, just hope it would be good. That would help. And we'll see. What was the third rumor again?
That there's a Teen Titans film in early development for the DCU.
Right. Yeah. That's just...
I don't give a shit at all about that. Like,
yeah, early development, like that's nothing's happening. Like, come on, they're exploring a ton of different properties. Like,
yeah,
we'll see when it happens.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, we don't have any of our main characters established at this point. Why we have a Superboy, Wonder Girl, Robin, like
yeah, we're gonna have to introduce some others anyway. So,
But Gunn does really love Raven, so
as he damn well should.
So speaking of stupid questions, and there are some like this: does Disney own Batman? He says, "Is it true Disney owns the rights to Batman on TV, which is why he's never really shown up on a TV show since the Adam West show, which is why all we've ever gotten is Bruce Wayne on TV or mentions of Batman?"
What kind of conspiracy? I want to slam my head against a wall.
And Gunn says,
"Why would
no?
What?
Very strange rumor."
Yeah.
Like,
indeed, weird.
Yeah.
Like, and then if that even was the case, we wouldn't have gotten Kevin Conroy in Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Well, he was Bruce Wayne, though.
Or Titans. My ass. Like, come on. Like, we had enough of Batman in the Titans show.
Yeah.
To violate that copyright left and right. So, like, that would have to...
And
there is no way this makes sense. In this universe, no.
Batman in flashbacks on Batwoman as well.
Right. I definitely didn't keep up with that show for long enough to get there.
But, yeah, so there you go. He's answered this before.
What?
He has.
He's had to answer this shit before?
Yep.
Why does this keep coming up?
I don't know. But it do. I guarantee if you went back and listened to our old, like a bunch of our shows this Gunn took over, he's probably answered this twice already.
Christ. I'm losing a lot of faith in humanity, god damn it.
This person says, "Will you be writing and directing more stuff in the DCU?" Gunn says, "That's what I'm here for."
Yeah,
you think
like
the writer,
mate.
Yeah,
like Peacemaker, and like, what the fuck do you expect him to do? Like, that's his job, man.
Yeah,
like, I know he's creative oversight and everything, but he's not a producer. That's clearly what Safran is there for.
Well, he does produce though.
Yeah, sure, but like not on the. He's the creative side. We know this by now. He's producer in the sense that, like, half the cast always has a producer credit. Like,
yep. So this person says, "Do you already know what you will write next now that you have finished Peacemaker Season 2? How long of a writing break will you take as you focus on directing Legacy and Peacemaker?" And he responds, "I won't be able to write anything for a while due to my directing and producing schedules." Did not fully answer that person's question. But, I mean, what are you going to say? Like, how long of a writing break? Pfft, shut up. You can't answer that question.
Yeah, no, while I'm doing other shit. Like,
okay.
How long is the shoot gonna take, I guess?
This might be the dumbest question of the night.
Oh, God.
Have you ever considered adding your own lore to the DCU?
What?
He says, Gunn says, that always happens when you make films.
Yeah, like,
what?
How could I not? Do you expect me to just 100% follow continuity in every instance? Like, that would be a very boring movie in some ways and very hard to like achieve. Jesus.
Yeah, the reason, like, it would be so hard to achieve, I actually want to see it. I want somebody to try it. Like, nope, you gotta make everything fit. You gotta make, like, freaking 1950s smiley face Batman work with the same character as angry grimacing Batman from the Golden Age. And also, he's got to be like, year one Batman. I mean, you got to do it all and somehow make it all work.
All of it at once. Just figure it out.
I know how I would do it.
Oh.
Anyway, that's not for discussion here.
No, we're not sharing that information. Come on now.
This person asks, Gunn, whenever you have somebody come on board to the DCU, do you ever tell them to read comics on the hero they'll be working with to get them up to speed, or is that not a requirement? And he says, so far I have, yeah.
Duh, everyone gets the care package of, like, here's a bunch of comics to have fun.
Yeah.
Like, that even happened during the Hamada shit. Like, of course, you go study your character. If they how much they actually get into it depends per actor. Like, sure, but like everyone is slightly different in that regard. But I don't know. Like, of course, you're gonna have to figure out who the fuck you're playing. God,
Well, I mean, not necessarily, because if you're like, in 1989 or 1992, whatever, and, Tim Burton's like, congratulations, I've cast you as the, Catwoman or whatever. And you're like, cool. And he's like, do I get a bunch of comics to figure out the character? And he's like, no, I sent you a hand-woven basket full of rag dolls that I found at thrift stores that remind me of the trauma of my childhood. And that's really what I'm trying to focus on. Also,
yeah.
I cut them all up and then reassembled them with each other's parts because I felt like they were more Frankenstein characters than anything. Do with that what you will. But each one of these represents a different personality within the singular character you're playing. And
are these ragdolls or kittens that you cut up? Because they seem furry.
Yeah,
Anyway.
that wasn't intentional. That was the fault of my assistant Bumble.
I feel like it would make sense for Tim Burton to have an assistant named Bumble.
That's true, apparently.
God damn it! Get the fuck out! Why?
Or it was like that was something Kevin Smith said. Kevin Smith said he had he had like an assistant named Bumble or some shit.
Fucking hell! Oh,
all right,
Kevin Smith, you international treasure. My God.
So, James Gunn posted this one-page panel of D-list heroes with the title "The Forgotten Heroes," and he asked, who is your favorite lesser-known DC Comics superhero? Tons of people answered, and I thought it might be fun to list the characters James responded to in a little segment I call Characters James Gunn Likes.
Good title. I'm down.
And why not? Because why are we doing this? Because, there's a possibility that he might work some of these people into something. If he likes them enough to comment and be like, oh my God, I love this person. Why wouldn't he want to have them in live action?
Like, they might be a, like, Mr. Terrific side character, like in Legacy, where it's like, oh, well, we'll fit him into the story somewhere. It'll make sense. There's plenty of opportunity to do that kind of shit, because he is trying to establish an already established universe, so fuck yeah.
Yeah. So he likes his Donna.
Fair.
Cassandra Cain, Batgirl.
Are you going to be able to just skip over the first Batgirl, though?
I don't know, but you can play with lore a little bit, as we just talked about.
Fair. I've heard of that.
Yeah. So, if you did a thing where you had, like, if we're coming into a universe, indeed, that is older Bruce Wayne with a son, then
fair enough.
You could honestly just say, like, oh, we had a bunch of Robins, and there was a Batgirl, and there's also
if we've reached Damian, then Barbara might be in a wheelchair by then. Like, stuff happens.
Or she might be, chip implanted and running rings around people again. Like,
also very possible. Yeah.
Stephanie Brown could have already been Batgirl and retired. Cassandra Cain, which right now I think in the books anyway is Barbara. It's like they're teamed up. Barbara, Cassandra, and Stephanie are all teamed up. Cool. And that's
a fun idea for a story.
I think it was called Batgirls, and
Neat.
But I'm kind of wavering on it because I think I just heard it got canceled. I'm not sure, But
I'm not sure. I haven't read it. I'll look into it.
I love Cassandra
Sounds
Cain,
fun.
Batgirl.
Cool.
Wildcat from the Justice Society. Mm-hmm. The
Not
Warlord.
much experience with her, but sure. Oh.
Him. Wildcat. It was male Wildcat. Ted
Oh,
Grant.
that guy. Yeah. Sorry?
Ted Grant, I think his name was.
Right. Yeah. I don't know why all feline characters are just defaulted to female in my brain. It doesn't necessarily make sense.
Well, it was
They're not all cat women.
It was a woman on, or a girl on in Stargirl.
Oh, that might be a thing.
But she took up the mantle from Ted.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna blame this on my brain fog. Yeah, sure.
But yeah, Wildcat, taught Bruce how to fight when he was learning how to become a vigilante. Taught
Right.
Dinah Lance, the Black Canary, how to fight. Yeah, I like that
cool.
character.
Yeah, fair.
He says the Warlord, Hawk and Dove,
Yeah.
Green Arrow and Black Canary.
That's not low tier. Come on.
A lot of people were saying it. And they're pretty low tier. You can't count Arrow.
I guess.
I mean, you can, but they're not like...
You should. Yeah.
What was funny is some people were saying Nightwing. They're like, does Nightwing...
Fuck off.
Yeah, I'm like, well, kind
Anything
of.
Bat Family is high tier by default. Like, that's B tier at best.
I mean, if they said Crazy Quilt, I would have been like, yeah, all right.
That's not Bat Family. Come on.
It's just Bat Villain.
Yeah, exactly. Not the
Yeah.
entire Rogues Gallery. Like, within the Rogues Gallery of Batman, there are tiers.
Fire and Ice.
Oh, I haven't heard about those in a while.
Yeah, I like Fire and Ice. I agree with everything he's saying,
Sounds
by
fun.
the way.
Yeah.
Amazing Man.
He has taste. We know this by now.
Yeah.
Amazing Man? I don't think I know who that is.
Maybe we'll hit him up on Comic Castaway someday.
Sounds fun.
The Question. Adam Strange.
Fair enough.
Detective Chimp.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I would expect Gunn to love that.
Yeah. Dead Man.
I haven't read much of him, but yeah, of course.
John Constantine. That I'm not even sure that counts anymore.
Yeah, no, not at this point. I mean, then again, that might just be our circles, given that show is still fucking canceled. But god damn it.
This is no surprise. Batmite.
Fair enough. Yep. Should have seen that coming.
He said he's got statuettes of Batmite all over his house.
Oh, that's hilarious.
The Metal Men.
Oh, where did I see those last? But that was fun, yeah.
They did a version of them, I think, in Gods and Monsters, that animated movie, but I don't... Was that the last thing I saw them in?
Possibly. There was.
Or a version of
I
them.
thought there was another animated thing, but I don't remember fully.
That's fair.
We'll look into this. We don't have to fact check ourselves. Come on now.
No. He also, I think I mentioned this last week, but I might not have. Captain Atom, he's a big fan of.
Right. Yeah, sure.
So, yeah, that's what I got so far. Like, I'm not saying that he's making things out of any of these. I'm just saying
No,
if he likes them
probably
that much.
most of them won't show up for a while, but he has taste, and that's a good sign.
Yeah. And he's not afraid to get weird as shit.
No, we should know that by now.
So here's a question. Hey, James, how often will you and Peter personally cast someone for a role in a DCU installment without any input from a director/creator? Will the eventual director of Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow have to agree to Millie Alcock's casting as Supergirl in order to get the job? And Gunn says, well, you're assuming only Peter and I cast Millie. It wasn't only us.
Yeah.
And that the first thing she's appearing in is Woman of Tomorrow. But yes, anyone who directs a DCU property with pre-established characters will be agreeing to use the actors already cast. If someone makes a Jimmy Olsen movie, for example, they'd agree to Skylar even though he's in Superman first. Another stupid question, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, that's just an obvious answer. And he's like, the question is trying to frame it as if it's a bad thing that like they're just shoving this onto the creators, but also it's a connected universe. You know what you're getting into. Like, what? And they, like, of course they don't cast this alone. There's a fucking team. There's a casting director. There's a bunch of people who went over this fucking decision. Like, he's not sitting in a room being like, you know who I like? That girl from House of the Dragon. No, that was an actual process.
Yeah. Well, here's another one for you. Person asks Gunn, how is the selection process for new characters carried out?
That could mean a number of things.
James Gunn says, whatever I write.
Fair enough.
Like, there's not some algorithm that they're
who
choosing
do I want to
characters.
use? Yeah, no, exactly. We're not planning this shit. We're writing a fucking story. Like,
yeah.
If I need a character, or I want a character, or I think a character would be fun in this role, guess what? I'm the boss. I can write it. That's how it works.
Yeah. So look, this last bit, I've got one more bit, and it's all conspiracy theory from me, almost.
Oh, Lord.
Here's why. On Tuesday, DC and Marvel both announced they have plans. They're going to print 2 new omnibuses of their previous crossovers. One of them is going to be DC versus Marvel omnibus, and DC/Marvel the Amalgam Age omnibus.
Yeah.
And I'm excited because some of that shit hasn't been around in forever, and I would love to get that omnibus. At least the Amalgam Age omnibus. I want both of them, obviously. Of course. But
like, I'm interested now. Like, that sounds like good shit. I'm glad they're reprinting it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be available at participating. Both books will be available at participating bookstores and local comic book shops on Tuesday, August 6th. Both volumes will be offered with direct market exclusive covers, which are available only in local comic book shops. So DC versus Marvel Omnibus collects Batman Captain America #1, Batman Daredevil #1, Batman Punisher Lake of Fire, Batman Spider-Man #1, Daredevil Batman #1, DC Special Series 27, a whole bunch of others. Just shit tons of them.
Just
shit tons
all of the good shit.
Those are like just like the big crossover events they did. Yes, it includes, Spider-Man versus The Incredible Hulk versus Superman.
Cool. Yeah.
Now, the other one though, the one I'm really excited about is the Amalgam Age Omnibus.
Yeah.
I
know what it is. Okay. Yeah.
That collects DC versus Marvel 1 through 4, DC Marvel All Access 1 through 4, Unlimited Access 1 through 4, Bat Thing #1, Bruce Wayne Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. #1, Bullets and Bracelets #1, Challenger of the Fantastic, Doctor Strange Fate, Iron Lantern, Legends of the Dark Claw, Lobo the Duck, Speed Demon, Spider-Boy, Super Soldier, Thorian of the New Asgods, X-Patrol. Oh my god.
Delightful.
I love the Amalgam shit.
I still haven't read any of it. I need to get into that shit.
Yeah, and I remembered. It sounds
so fun.
I was really excited about this news because I remembered you and I talked about this a while ago, and you said you hadn't read it. And but you can't find it. So
that doesn't help.
In August.
This will make it accessible. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but, my brain, I'm like, why are they planning this now? It's like the old Bill Hader, Lorne Michaels thing, where he's like responding to the Vincent Price bit, where he's like, I love this, but why now?
Yeah. Sounds great, but your motivations, sir.
I mean, we know that Gunn he's said multiple times, he's had conversations here and there with people about a Marvel versus DC thing.
Sure.
Okay, you do a little bit of DC, but what's your big 10-year plan? I mean, y'all are both like, no one gives a shit anymore. No one's going to see the movies. Kind of thing.
That's what happened in the comics, and then they did that shit. So
yeah, where are you gonna go? You can join forces, make a few movies, split the universes up again.
Exactly. Could be fun in 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
then again, why would they reprint it now? Like it is a bit far fetched, but getting it circulating again is a start at least.
Yeah.
I also just imagine it's a long, arduous process to get those publishing shits figured out because they have to jointly make these omnibuses.
Yeah.
Which is, of course, not as easy as just being like, oh, by the way, what might sell? Like let's reprint this DC shit unilaterally. That's easier.
Well, like I said, crazy theory. But, we do know that they have talked about it. They have talked about merging the cinematic universes.
Yeah, they have definitely discussed, like, how could we bring it together and without interfering with either of our plans for the foreseeable future. So, might be fun. We'll see if we ever get there. Like, first the shit has to succeed.
Like, I'm just trying to live until I can see it.
Yeah. Like, here's hoping both survive for long enough to get that to happen ever. Like,
yeah,
God.
Yeah, but oh my God, I'm really excited about the amalgam stuff. I loved that shit growing up.
Yeah, no, it's such a fun concept. It's delightful. I will look into getting that shit onto my iPad ASAP.
Okay, so like Matt Carroll had the first 4 issues, like the basic miniseries, and we used to sit in the back of the church, and look at that shit and be like, Spider Boy, we're like, oh man, because it was the first thing was DC versus Marvel, but then they had stuff in the back about stuff that's coming and the amalgam line and freaking Dark Claw and oh my God, and he wound up getting some of those too, and we were just hovered, just
good times.
Just hanging out on the floor reading that shit. Yeah, God bless the 90s. That's all I've got.
Yeah. That was a good part of my childhood too, the 90s.
Yeah,
the first 4 years.
Oh, those
the parts
really
I have no conscious memories of.
Yeah, Jason always talks about how the first what is it, how the decades are staggered. So what you think of as the 90s wasn't really the 90s. It was
95 to 2005, like that.
9 to 5. Yeah. Because what becomes definitive about that decade lasts about 5 years into the next decade, but it keeps going that way. So
yeah. No, that makes sense. In that sense, I am more of a 90s kid, I guess, than I give myself credit for.
Sure.
We'll take that.
And I'll give it.
Yay.
That's it. That's all I've got. Do you have anything else you'd want to add?
I don't think so. Should I have prepared? Jesus.
Do you have final thoughts, Effie?
I mean, I hope I have thoughts still, but no, it feels like Gunn is just doing a good job of keeping us sort of not entertained, but placated. Like we're just getting barely enough to satiate our hunger for more shit to discuss amongst ourselves while we wait for actual products to arrive.
But we're the real fans. Not to say that someone who doesn't feel the way we do aren't real fans, but
we're too deep in this shit. That's fair.
Yeah, we will watch 5 or 6 movies that are shit back to back and still be like, well, what's the next thing?
Exactly. Welcome. Even for Marvel, that's what I've been doing.
Yeah.
God. And I'm not even as much of a fan. I'm just but I'm intrigued what they're doing. This is the competition. Come on.
I don't care about competition. I like both of them, and I have even though
I like one slightly better, but that's about it. I'm not against Marvel shit. I just
But when
I'm against what the MCU has become, because the films kind of suck. But
they kind of do. But even when they don't, I mean, even when they're not great, even when they do suck, I'm still pretty happy with them. I'm just okay, that was pretty good.
They're okay. It's fine. It's fun. I'm not deeply satisfied in my soul, but that is rare, just generally with movies.
But see, that's the thing is when I was coming up, like I've said before on this cast, we didn't have this shit. We never thought we would see this shit. So even though
you have gratitude that I have yet to learn.
Right. So
deprivation, years of starvation will get you there.
I'm not sitting there going it was a smorgasbord for my mental state. I can disseminate and peel apart the layers and all the themes and oh my God, the symbolism. No, I can't do that, but I
feel
can.
attacked.
But I can sit there and be like, they were on screen together and they were fighting. And that's...
Sometimes that's enough for someone. Yeah.
Like, I don't care that Marvel kind of sucks now. I'm just gotta like, yeah. Oh, what cool.
Still the action figures punching each other, but like in a cooler visual style. Sure, whatever.
Yeah. I grew up reading comics. I'm like, okay, so it's supposed to be dumb and soap opera-y. There's no end. And this characters you never thought you'd see like fighting. I'm good. I'm down. Let's do it.
Fair enough. Yeah. I don't know whoever, decided in the 80s that they could also write good shit, but they fucked over the genre, clearly. They made me get expectations. Oh well.
What? Who?
I don't know. I feel like the mid 80s are like when the highbrow, like, graphic novels can be art bullshit came around, where it's like, okay, fine.
Well, no, it can be.
I generally disagree with. Like, they're still funny books. Like, come on.
No. Don't know. Have you read Mouse?
I mean, I have, but I have it in the...
That's no funny book.
No, I'm not saying the entire fucking genre. I'm just saying, like, there shouldn't be the highbrow, lowbrow fucking difference thing. I just tend to have a taste that leans towards the serious shit.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I'm just generally against it's a graphic novel. It's not a comic. Like, fuck off.
Oh, you just don't like the elitism.
Yeah, it's not the it only counts as art when it checks these boxes. Like, go fuck yourself. Like, superhero shit is still like there's some art shit in there, and not every story is great. But yeah, sometimes it's just a run that's not that successful, and sometimes sure it's The Dark Knight Returns, but it doesn't have to be that every time. Mm-hmm. But standalone stuff is fun. It's easier to follow along with usually.
It is. I agree.
It helps. No, you know where to get into the story and get out. Yeah.
I'm gonna call it. Even though I'm having fun. I'm hungry and I gotta go make food.
That sounds important. Yeah. Feed yourself.
Biscuits and eggs and bacon is happening.
Good shit. So, slightly jealous.
I'm pretty excited.
Need to get me some bacon too. Yeah. Except it's shite weather outside, so I'm not doing that.
The old shite weather. I think this episode's going to be called There Are Stupid Questions.
That makes sense. I am down. Yes.
All right. Yeah. Hopefully, Jason's family will be back and running the way they're normally running, and he'll be able to do the review of World War II. The Justice Society movie. But, who knows? We'll see you next week. And until next time, keep some DC on your screen.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening to DC on Screen. Our theme song is by Jason Goss and Michael Shackelford of Galactic Engineers. The incidental music is by Michael Shackelford and Kevin MacLeod. You can rate the show on Spotify or rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Doing that really helps push our show to new listeners, so your help would be much appreciated. You can also contact the show at DC On Screen on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or email us at dconscreen@gmail.com. To become a patron and get ad-free episodes and exclusive content, go to patreon.com/DCOnScreen. Your reviews and feedback may end up on a future episode of DC On Screen. DC On Screen is a production of Maladjusted.tv in association with Stranded Panda. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever damn platform you use.